Can you imagine getting within 20 or 30 yards of one of North America's most elusive and absolutely keen animals that we have to offer, the white-tailed deer? Now you may be asking yourself, why do I want to get within 20 or 30 yards of a white-tailed deer? Well, maybe you're into photography, maybe you're into videoing, maybe you're a new archery hunter just starting off and you're just looking for some information. Well, hi, my name is Trent Brandstetter, and today I'd like to tell you about my experience and what has worked for me with getting close to the white-tailed deer. I've chased whitetails from Idaho to Arkansas, Louisiana, Michigan, Illinois, Ohio, and a lot of places in between. I've studied the animal, and I've archery hunted whitetails, I've videoed whitetails, I've taken photographs of whitetails, and I've definitely studied the animal, and today I'd like to pass on a little bit of knowledge that I found out. The three things that I found work for me the best, that I put in the most effort when it comes to going out for a whitetail, is scent elimination, knowing where to go, where the whitetails are going to be at, and lastly, camouflage and concealment. So first off, before you ever go out for a whitetail, you need to think about scent elimination. There's a lot of fads out there when it comes to scent elimination, a lot of new products. You'll hear all kinds of stuff about scent elimination, but I found the number one thing to focus on is the direction that the wind is blowing. If the wind is going to blow the human scent into where the whitetails are, you're not going to have a whole lot of luck in having an encounter with a whitetail. So know which direction the wind is blowing from, and know where have a good idea where you think the whitetails are going to be at, and try to work the wind in your favor. Secondly, with scent elimination is going to be the height you are. And I don't mean are you 6 foot tall or are you 6'5". I'm talking topography. How high are you? You want to try to stay above the whitetails is what you want to try to do. It just makes sense when you think about it. The higher you are, whether it's in a tree stand in a tree, or whether it's just a hill or a mountain or whatever the case might be, the higher you are, the wind is going to blow your scent over their head, and you're going to have a lot better chance for a close encounter with a whitetail. And lastly is something that I was a little skeptical about when I first started chasing whitetails, and that was cover scents. Whether it's fox urine, coyote urine, raccoon urine, there's 100 of them, but basically what they are, it's a scent that you spray on your boots. It's in a bottle, spray bottle, and it's going to mask the human odor. And believe it or not, they actually work. I've had several opportunities to try them out, and they do work. It's just one of the little things that you can add to your arsenal to get closer to a white-tailed deer. So now you know about the wind, about cover scents, about height, and all that other good stuff. Let's talk about where you want to go and put all this into action. First place is going to be a feeding area. Whitetails have to have nutrition throughout the year, so you want to get close to the feeding areas, whether it's cornfields, soybean fields, acorns, or just grass areas. You definitely want to know what the whitetails in the area are eating, and you want to get to those areas. Secondly, bedding areas. You have to be really cautious when you're in the bedding areas. Their senses are very alert in these areas. This is their safe haven, and you have to know what you're doing, and you have to really work the wind and focus on scent elimination prior to ever getting close to a bedding area. But you'll know these bedding areas. You'll see matted down areas of grass. You'll see leaves that are compressed where they've been laying, and that's definitely a bedding area. And where I've had the most success is, without a doubt, are travel corridors. The super highways in between these two areas, the feeding and the bedding areas. If you can get right off of those, work in the wind, you're going to have a very, very good chance of seeing white-tailed deer. So there you go. That's where you want to hunt at, and that's scent elimination. So let's talk a little bit about what you're going to do when you get there and when you get that encounter with a whitetail. First thing you want to do, focus on camouflage. Use camouflage that blends you into the natural surroundings of the area you're in. It just makes sense, common sense. Secondly, you want to focus on your movement, okay? This is something that a lot of people overlook. When you're in the woods, you want to move as stealthy as possible, and when you're in a tree stand or when you're sitting on the ground getting ready to take a picture of a whitetail or a video of a whitetail or to possibly harvest a whitetail, you definitely want to stay as still as possible. And lastly is a concept called skylining. Whether you're sitting on the ground or up in a tree, skylining is basically where a whitetail can look at you and make out the silhouette of a human being, or something that just shouldn't be there. They may not know you're a human, but they know it's just not familiar to them. So with that being said, you want to sit up against a big tree or a clump of leaves or a bunch of branches behind you to break up that silhouette. So there you go. Those are the 3 things that have worked for me in the past. Scent elimination, definitely the #1 priority. Number 2, knowing where to go, knowing where the whitetails are going to be at, asking the locals for advice and where the whitetails are going to be. And 3rd, camouflage and concealment. If you do all 3 of those things, I definitely think that you're going to have a very good time out in the wilderness, out in nature, and seeing what nature has to offer. Whether you're archery hunting, whether you're photographing whitetails, or whether you're taking videos of whitetails, it's definitely a challenge to get close to one. It's without a doubt rewarding, and I think it's something you'll enjoy. So whether I see you out in the woods this fall for hunting season, or I just see some pictures that you've taken, I hope that you can take some of this advice and definitely enjoy your time in the wilderness and getting close to the elusive white-tailed deer. Thank you very much.